If words don't matter, I wonder how that affects the way that you internalize love and when someone says that they love you. Is it met with this disbelief? Is it met with this openness and trust? And I really want us to think about language through a lens of love and connection. And what I mean by this, a lot of us use the mantras of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Or it's just words and words don't matter. And the reason why that we affirm ourselves with those phrases is because we were either bullied or we were met with such a brutality as it relates to language, and we were thrown in environments where we were assaulted with words. We were cussed out day in and day out. We were made fun of. And so to protect yourself, to protect your sanity, to have a sense of ease through the world, we operate through language as a survival mechanism. But I want us to reflect a bit more on that as we age, get older, our yearnings deepen, our longings deepen, our desires also become more front of mind. I want us to think about language at the intersection of love. And do we meet words with, or a literary lexicon, I guess I can say, do we meet those things with disbelief when someone tells us that they like us, that they love us, that they desire us, that they want us? Is it met with a disbelief because you have deeply internalized words don't matter? And I want us to really peel back the onion on this concept of like being nonchalant. That has been a buzzword for like the last 2.5 years. This persona that you just don't care, nothing hurts your feelings. You are kind of just like flying by the seat of your pants as it relates to relationships and navigating romance at the surface level. But why would we want to hold that persona of being nonchalant? What informed us in life that was a character of protection? And when we look at those conversations from this lens, it reveals the vulnerability. It reveals the hurt that so many of us had to endure. It reveals the need and want of safety. And it also reveals the fear. And when we are thinking about the intersection now of love and fear, while yes, it may feel daunting, again, I think it is very important for us to create as much space to give voice to those ghosts, give voice to those fears that you have, because that again is a prerequisite of letting go or facing your fears, right? When you name them, now it feels a bit less daunting, or it's not as daunting as the ruminating on the fear. You say that I'm scared to have deep connections with people because the moment that I'm vulnerable, it has been used against me. And so once you give life to that, I guess I could say, you also are able to start identifying and reflecting what has been safe moments or safe people in your life, and what are some of the characteristics that they embody naturally that help you know that this is a safe person, this is a safe environment, that this is a safe relationship. And again, so when we're thinking about intentionality, when we're thinking about what does it mean to be in relationship dynamics that are safe and intentional, I want us again to reflect back on our values as it relates to love, but taking it a step further on how our values were also met with truth. a truth that wasn't brutal. We can let experiences and people and places go without berating it, without disrespecting them, and vice versa. You are also deserving of conflict that isn't going to leave you harmed. Every disagreement does not have to propel into a dramatized show. You don't always have to have a protagonist and a villain. And when you are treating relationship dynamics through this lens of villain and protagonist, through this lens of it has to be something, I have to experience these highs and lows. And I think a lot of times we reflect like on how we felt and like, yeah, like it was hot and steamy and very passion filled in my body. And then you quickly remember what they called you when they compared you to that parent that caused you so much harm, when they brought up the greatest heartache that you've ever experienced, the greatest grief, and the intent was to hurt you. And so again, I go back to this concept of love as your birthright, and also who taught you that you were unlovable. The people that taught you that you were unlovable are probably the same people that would berate you with insults and just hurl insults. And so you again had to go to that self-soothing mantra where it's like, words can't hurt me, words can't hurt me, words can't hurt me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt. Like you go back to the mantra to come to this internal equilibrium because the things that they said were so brutal, and they penetrated something deeper than skin, which was your psyche. And that has been deeply planted and deeply seated in the way in which you make connections with others. And so it's so important for us to be very clear, transparent on areas in which we are cosplaying being nonchalant, right? Going back to the example of what does it mean to cosplay these fairy tale figures in our lives. And I would argue that the character that doesn't care, that like embodiment of like angst, that teenage angst, that rebel, they have a mask up. And I wonder if this resonates with you. What is the mask in which you are wearing and that you have embodied? And how many years have you had that mask on? And when do you know that you are willing to let it go? What words let you know that you are safe, and how those words are paired with action, paired with intent, paired with intentionality?